Picture this. You're a single mother. Bills are piling up. Kids are asking for things you can't afford. And everybody's got an opinion about how you should live your life. My mama faced that reality every day in the 1960s. Jessica's facing it every day right now. But what both of them know about survival that the rest of the world is missing, that's the secret I'm about to share. And wait until you hear what my mama wrote in her diary that Jessica posted on her mirror word for word without ever knowing my mama existed. See, we think single motherhood is about struggle. We think it's about surviving. But what I learned watching my mama raise 7 kids by herself and what Jessica showed me in Miami last month is that sometimes being a single mother isn't about what you don't have. It's about discovering strength you never knew existed. Let me take y'all back to Welch, West Virginia, 1962. My mama, Eloise Harvey, is 28 years old with 7 children under the age of 12. My daddy, he left when I was 5, said raising kids wasn't what he signed up for. Just walked out one Tuesday morning and never came back. So there's my mama, Pauline, Terry, Mona, Steve, that's me and my younger siblings, trying to figure out how to feed 7 growing kids on a seamstress salary. Y'all, we're talking about $38 a week, $38. Some of y'all spend more than that on lunch. I remember sitting at our little kitchen table watching mama count pennies every night after we went to bed. She thought we were asleep, but I used to sneak to the top of the stairs and watch her spread those coins across the table, making little piles, rent pile, food pile, clothes pile. Most nights there wasn't enough for all 3 piles, but here's what my mama did that I didn't understand until I was grown. Every Sunday after church, she'd gather all 7 of us kids in the living room and she'd say, "Y'all listen to me. We may not have much, but we got each other and we got God, and that's more than enough." Then she'd make each of us say one thing we were grateful for that week. Pauline might say, "I'm grateful Mrs. Johnson gave us those apples from her tree." Terry might say, "I'm grateful my shoes still fit." And I'd say something like, "I'm grateful mama makes the best cornbread in West Virginia." But mama always said the same thing. "I'm grateful God trusted me with y'all." Now back then, I thought that was just mama being mama. But years later, I found her diary in her bedroom dresser after she passed. Y'all, that woman wrote in that little journal every single night for 20 years. And one entry, dated December 15th, 1963, changed my whole understanding of my childhood. She wrote, "Lord, I don't know how I'm going to make it through tomorrow, but I know you wouldn't give me these babies if you didn't believe I could raise them right. When I feel like giving up, I look at their faces and remember, I'm not just surviving, I'm building their future." Now, fast forward to last month, I'm in Miami doing a speaking event for working mothers, and during the meet and greet, this young woman approaches me with 3 little kids hanging on her arms. "Mr. Harvey," she says, "I need to ask you something about your mama because I think I'm living her story." Her name is Jessica Morales. She's 32 years old, works as a night shift nurse at Jackson Memorial Hospital, and she's raising 3 kids. Sophia, 8, Miguel, 6, and little Carmen, 3, completely by herself. Jessica tells me her story, and y'all, it's like deja vu all over again. 2 years ago, I was married, living in a nice house in Coral Gables. Thought I had my life figured out, she says. Then my husband decided he wanted to find himself, which apparently meant finding himself with his 22-year-old coworker. The divorce left Jessica with 3 kids, a mountain of debt, and a nursing salary that barely covers rent in Miami. She had to move to a 2-bedroom apartment in Hialeah, works night shifts so she can be with the kids during the day, and sleeps maybe 4 hours if she's lucky. "Mr. Harvey," she says, "I count pennies just like your mama did. I make piles on my kitchen table every week, rent, groceries, daycare, gas, and most weeks the piles don't add up right." But here's where Jessica's story gets interesting. She tells me about her Sunday tradition. Every week after church, she gathers Sophia, Miguel, and Carmen in their living room. And she says, "Okay, Miss Amores, tell mama one thing that made you happy this week." Sophia might say, "I'm happy my teacher said my drawing was beautiful." Miguel might say, "I'm happy we had ice cream for dessert on Wednesday." Little Carmen usually just claps and says, "Happy mama." And Jessica always says the same thing. "I'm happy God trusted me with you 3 angels." Now here's the part that gave me chills. Jessica pulls out her phone and shows me a picture of her bathroom mirror. Written across it in dry erase marker are these words, "Lord, I don't know how I'm gonna make it through tomorrow, but I know you wouldn't give me these babies if you didn't believe I could raise them right. Y'all, I nearly fell out of my chair. That's almost word for word what my mama wrote in her diary 50 years ago. Where did you get those words? I asked her. I don't know, Jessica says. They just came to me one night when I was crying in the bathroom, feeling like I couldn't take another day. I wrote them on the mirror so I'd see them every morning and they give me strength. Now let me tell you what I told Jessica, because this is the lesson that took me 50 years to fully understand. See, what both my mama and Jessica figured out is that single motherhood isn't a deficit. It's a superpower. It's not about what you're missing. It's about what you're multiplying. When you're a single mother, you don't just become both parents. You become a time management expert, a budget analyst, a chef, a teacher, a nurse, a counselor, a cheerleader, and a prayer warrior all rolled into one. My mama didn't see herself as a woman who got left behind. She saw herself as a woman who got chosen for a special mission. Jessica doesn't see herself as a victim of a broken marriage. She sees herself as the CEO of her family's future. Here's what both of them understand that the rest of the world misses. When you're responsible for everything, you become capable of anything. Every night, my mama tucked 7 kids into bed. She was proving that love multiplies instead of divides. Every morning, Jessica gets 3 kids ready for school on her own. She's demonstrating that strength isn't about having help. It's about being helped. Y'all want to know what happened to those 7 kids my mama raised by herself? Pauline became a teacher. Terry became a successful businessman. Mona became a nurse. I became, well, y'all know what I became. And my younger siblings all found their own success in their own ways. 7 kids raised by a single mother on $38 a week. And every single one of us graduated high school. Every single one of us stayed out of serious trouble. And every single one of us learned that hard work, faith, and love can overcome any obstacle. But here's what really makes me proud. All 7 of us grew up knowing how to treat women with respect because we watched our mama be strong enough to be gentle, tough enough to be tender, and powerful enough to be humble. And Jessica, 6 months after our conversation, I get a text from her with a photo. It's her daughter Sophia holding a certificate for making the honor roll. Her son Miguel holding a trophy for his soccer team. Little Carmen grinning with her first day of preschool backpack. But the message Jessica sent with the photo is what really got to me. Mr. Harvey, your mama was right. God doesn't give us children to survive them. He gives them to us to thrive with them. Jessica just got promoted to charge nurse at the hospital. She's saving money for a house. Sophia wants to be a doctor. Miguel wants to be a soccer player. And Carmen wants to be just like mama. 3 kids who are growing up watching their mother prove every day that single doesn't mean alone, and struggling doesn't mean failing. So here's your homework, and this is for all the mothers listening, but especially for the single mothers who might be counting pennies tonight. First, stop calling it broken family and start calling it custom-built family. My mama didn't raise us in a broken home. She built us a purpose-driven home. Jessica isn't managing a broken family. She's designing a family that works for them. Second, teach your children gratitude as a survival skill. That Sunday tradition my mama started, it wasn't just feel-good family time. It was training us to see abundance in the middle of scarcity. Jessica's doing the same thing, teaching her kids that happiness isn't about what you have, it's about how you see what you have. Third, write down your strength reminders. My mama's diary kept her going through the hardest times. Jessica's mirror message gets her through the toughest mornings. Find your own way to remind yourself daily that you're not just surviving, you're building something beautiful. Fourth, remember that your children are watching you create their blueprint for resilience. Every time you get up after being knocked down, every time you find a way when there seems to be no way, every time you choose hope over defeat, you're not just solving today's problem, you're teaching them how to solve tomorrow's problems. Fifth, understand that being a single mother doesn't mean you're doing it alone. You got God, you got your children, you got your own strength, and you got a whole community of women who've walked this path before you. If you're a single mother reading this, here's what I want you to know. You're not less than a 2-parent family. You're a concentrated family. You're not missing a piece. You're the complete puzzle. My mama raised 7 successful kids on $38 a week and a whole lot of love. Jessica's raising 3 thriving kids on a nurse's salary and unlimited determination. And if you're raising kids by yourself right now, you're not just their mother. You're their hero. You're not just their parent. You're their proof that miracles happen when strong women refuse to give up. Your children won't remember what you couldn't afford to buy them. They'll remember that you never stopped fighting for them. They won't remember the nights you cried in the bathroom. They'll remember the mornings you got up and made them breakfast anyway. And years from now, when they're successful adults with their own families, they won't tell people about how hard life was when they were kids. They'll tell people about how strong their mama was. Because what my mama wrote in that diary, what Jessica wrote on that mirror, what every single mother knows in her heart is this: God doesn't give you children to break you. He gives them to you to reveal just how unbreakable you really are.